What's up, podcast, man? It's your boy Stone coming to y'all, with a new podcast, man. That's here to help the people, man. It's called Right Hand on the Bible. I'm gonna be coming out with a bunch of episodes to help y'all and y'all questions of what y'all want to know about. Well, y'all already know I'm a man of God, and that's everybody's question. They always ask me about God, and that's why my podcast is gonna be about everything, relationships, whatever y'all want to know. I'm here to help. I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. So y'all just stay tuned and just keep clocking in each and every day. Clock in every time I drop something. I'm gonna let y'all know. And I'm gonna just keep getting to it. But let's start this off with a Bible verse that that's my favorite. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given me the spirit of fear, but power and love and sound mind. And that's something that I say to myself each and every day. To get my mind right. Lord, when something bothers me or anything, that's what I say. Something bad on my mind. That's what you got to have. Something you want to talk about. What I'm saying. Something you want to have in the back of your head, so when hard times come, you got God on your side. Let's start this off with a prayer. For God, I am very thankful, and Lord, as I put my right hand on the Bible, Lord, just bless me, give my people the honest truth. Bless me to say the right things, Lord, and bless me to just become the man that I need to be, Lord, to give them the information. Lord, I love you. I'm very thankful, and I appreciate you. And now we're gonna start off with a little song by my one of the upcoming artists, Young Troop. It's called Feelings. Make sure y'all stay tuned, listen to this track, what I'm saying?
Why you tell me about my life, bitch, you living it too. And it bad, I got it right now, I do what it do. I was thugging all my life and I know how to move. You can't tell me about my life, bitch, I'm chasing it too. I was thinking about them bands, I ain't know how to choose. I was running up that cave, bitch, I know
a snippet of, that's my boy. Grew up with me, young artist, he from the West Side, creative mind, man. My podcast is pretty much question based. Any questions y'all got for me, I'm gonna answer them, live on my podcast. Pretty much, I want to know what y'all want to know about me or about the world or what my intakes on everything. So I'm gonna start off with the first question. The first question is, can you give tips on how to pray? Really don't know how to talk to God, but I do need to start. Coming off this question, I really didn't know how to pray at first. And what made me start learning how to pray, I started going to church. I started visualizing how people pray, But mind you, God is a listening God. I talk regular when I pray. I pray for what my heart needs and what I need to be as a man. First, before I say anything, I don't really pray for asking for anything or ask for anything material. I don't pray for stuff like that. I pray for becoming a better man. Helping people or putting my heart out there to help people and put them in positions to win. That's what I pray for. And then I pray for my family, my friends to be covered by God's blood and His armor. I want to live a long life. So that's what I pray about. I don't really pray about material stuff. I don't pray about chains. I don't pray about shoes. I just pray about my feelings and how I feel. In situations, or how do I handle situations, or if somebody make me mad or somebody do something that I don't like, how do I handle that situation? That's what I really pray for. I'm not really into God for the material things. Material things. When you pass away in life, material things will go with you. So I pray for my soul to be healthy. My mind to be healthy. I like giving back to people. So just pray from your heart, whatever you feel. You don't have to be no expert praying. Just talk to him. And just let him know that you love him. Let him know that you honor him and that you care for him. It's really I feel like it's really no perfect way to pray, and it's just just letting him know how you feel and just letting him know you love him. That's pretty much what I do, and I make sure I let him know that he's first in my life. That's the second question I have is, what incident took place in your life that made you fully committed to God? I'm not really afraid to share my personal life, but it was one time. I was I could say maybe 19. I'm going to Compton. I'm killing on the basketball. Life is good. Life is not. It's not bad. I still live in the hood. I'm not. It's just my life is solid at this time, and it was a part of my life. It was a little segment of my life where I was going through suicidal thoughts. I don't know where it came from. But it's just so be had just happened. It just came. Like I just was thinking like that. I remember I was hurting my mom. My mom was crying because you feel me? I was just going through a rough patch, and I don't even know what I was going through. Not, you know, I'm not even suicidal at all. See, that's where, you know, now that I see that it's from God, that God was trying to get me closer, because it's like I don't think about that at all. You know, I'm not selfish. I said, man, that's a selfish act. I feel like, you know, that's the devil. I feel like that's how you win. I never was thinking about it, so it was a hard time. It was hard. Like I didn't know how to go through it. I didn't know what to do. I was at ground zero. You know, I was locked in my room. I just didn't know at what point in time did what's going on. I really didn't know. I swear to y'all, I didn't know. So I felt like it was no way out. I was stuck there forever. That's how I felt. And you know, someone directed me to church. I can't even tell you, it's so crazy. It's just like I was going through this one night. I started crying. I'm crying in the kitchen. You know, I'm just crying. Like, why am I going through this? I'm just crying. And you know, something came in my head to say church. And you know, I started going to church. So you know, I started going to church. So I started going to church, and you know, I started feeling better. Like I started feeling relieved. After my first day of church, I started feeling relieved, like 100% relieved. And I'm just sitting there like, dang, I really felt like I couldn't get out of it. So why, when I go to church for one day, I feel relieved? I start liking how I feel. So I started really going to church. I started reading, you know, I started really getting into church like every day. I'm talking about reading Bible study, everything. I started feeling better, you know, and it's crazy because one day I said, I think I was supposed to get close to God, and it went away. Exactly like that. I promise you, it went away. And that time I was going through that hard time, it just went away, like it didn't happen. And you know, that's why I understand about God is when God put it on your heart, He can take it away fast as ever. Whenever God put on your heart, or whatever you're going through, if it's from God, He can take it away. And I feel like He took it away. I was going through a hard time. My mom was crying. My grandma was crying. They like, I don't know what's wrong with me. My mom thought I was crazy. Like, not crazy as in like, you know, crazy, but like she was just like, man, what's going on with my son? You know, I felt like I knew I was impacting my family, but you know, I just, you know, just started praying. That's when I got into praying, and just everything, you know, just left, you know, and that was like my biggest, like, you know, that's how I knew I had to fully commit to God. And then my daughter, you know, while she was in her mom's stomach, I prayed every day, 90 days. The 90 days, or, you know, the months she supposed to be in there, you know, the 9 months she's supposed to be in there, I prayed every single day. And she's exactly how I prayed for her. And that's why people be asking me, like, is it hard to have a kid? I be like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I pray for that. And then I'll be having the time of my life. Y'all see when she be on my Instagram, she full of life. Like, you know, I pray every day. It wasn't not one day. And I still do it. I still pray every day. I don't miss a day of praying. I feel like I don't feel right when I miss a day. So, yeah, that's was like the incident. Suicidal incident. Like, that was the most craziest incident I went, and I knew God was supposed to be in my life. You know, nobody really knew about it but my family, but you know, it's cool. I can share that. I'm not really, you know, tripping on not sharing it. The next question is, when did you know you needed God? Same, you know, I know I needed God when my life was bad, because when I didn't have God, my life was way different from now. I don't, you know, I feel refreshed. My purpose in life is to please God. And when I put that in my mindset, to please God was my purpose, everybody around me started loving me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because my heart is big. You know, I try to help people out. I try to put people in positions to win. You know, I start, you know, helping my mom. I start helping my sister. I start helping, people start coming to me to pray. People start asking me questions. And, you know, one thing about God is He promised to struggle. So you're going to struggle. People be thinking God didn't promise to struggle. He promised to struggle. You know, and just know after the struggle, it's going to be worth it. You know, everything will be worth it. And when I was going through struggles at first, it didn't feel worth it. But when I was going through struggles, it's worth it. Like, I feel every bit of it was worth it. Like, it's a lot of situations where I feel like I needed God. When I was homeless, nobody knew, but I was at peace. I was still training people. And the dudes I was training didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? I was at total peace. Like, you would never know I was homeless. You know, I was still going to work. You know, my mom was homeless, my sister was homeless, everything. Like, it was crazy, but nobody knew, because, you feel me, I had God on my side. I was just at so much peace. I was good. There was times where I lost everything. I lost my training bag. I lost my, you know, my money. I lost my scholarship. My scholarship was gone. I got kicked out the house. You know what I'm saying? And I was at ground zero. I would have nothing. And you know, God turned it around within like a week, and you know, praying. And even though I was in a bad situation, I still was praying to God because I know things were gonna turn around because I know He know I need Him, and He know I love Him. And you know, pretty much it was just easy selling from there, you know. And it's just like every day I need God, you know. Every moment of my life I need Him, you know. And that's never gonna change, you know. Nobody can change that in my heart, you know what I'm saying. Going on to the next question, it says God is forgiving, but will there ever be a point where He gives up if we keep making the same mistakes we praying for? We all know, you know, if you read the Bible or anything, God is a forgiving God. You know, He forgives. You know, that's why He wants us to forgive. When people do, you know, stuff that we don't like, we supposed to forgive them because, you know, we sin every day. So if we sin every day, and He's able to forgive us for our sins, which is what Jesus died for, we'd be good, you know. So that's why, you know, forgiving is important. You know, I have to say that forgiving is very important. But it's always, you know, I don't feel like God ever gives up, you know, but if you do believe in a God, you do believe in the devil, and I feel like God will put you in the hardest circumstances to get you to lead His way, you know. That's what He did with me. He put me in the hardest, you know, circumstances to make me feel like, you know, I couldn't do nothing, and then it led me right to Him. So God don't never give up, but, you know, it's a time where, you know, the devil stays around, you know, he's ready, you know, he's ready to devour anybody. So he tries to hurry up and get you lead you towards Him, so you feel me, so He can protect you. So, because one of God's commandments is it's about protection. So, you know, He'll never give up, but He'll make it harder and harder and harder until you finally give in, you know, to, you know, going to Him. And, you know, going to God is like the best thing that ever happened in my life. So I honestly don't feel like He ever give up, you know, from my personal experience. That's pretty much, you know, about that question. Like, He don't give up. You know, if you want to keep making mistakes, eventually you'll get fed up. That's like if you go to the club, God ain't gonna do nothing. He's gonna let you keep going to the club. Eventually you're gonna get tired of going to the club. You're gonna be like, man, the club ain't nothing, you know. And sometimes, you know, God gotta let you fall on your butt 30 million times until you finally figure out that, you know, whatever that mistake is that you're going through, you don't need to go through it no more, you know. That's pretty much it, you know. I don't feel like God gives up on you, because He would have gave up on a lot of people, you know. God is a forgiving God, so He don't never want to give up on you. I'm going to tell the truth about anything. You know how people like, if you tell the truth, put your right hand on the Bible. So that's what I pretty much got right hand on the Bible from. Because it's like, if I put my right hand on the Bible, I pray to you, I'm telling y'all that I'm going to tell the truth about any situation. God sees our cry. It's crazy. It's crazy how this is about to turn around. That's why every time I'm posting on crazy stuff, I be reposting stuff, you know, because Black Lives Matter. I'm all about Black Lives. I'm a black man, so you feel me? I repost that type of stuff, but I don't say nothing negative. All I say is God's going to change it. Because I'm reading the Bible and I'm seeing, and I'm like, dang, it's crazy. It's crazy how it's happening, how it happened in the Bible. They just said black people been crying out, we've been enslaved for 400 years. It's in the Bible. The Egyptians had God's people in slavery for 400 years, bro. They start crying. He hearing our cry. We crying out right now because black people keep dying, you know, from this police, bro, you know, brutality, bro. So you feel me? Like, it's in the Bible. People keep talking about we living in our last days. No, you don't know when we living in our last days. Only person I know is God, bro. You feel me? When he sounds the trumpet, that's when we know. You get what I'm saying? Until then, bro, we're not living in our last days, bro. It's all about growth. It's all about growth, bro. But people don't read the Bible. People just throw something out there. I can make anything about anything, and people just throw something out there, bro. But I'm reading the Bible. It's been 400 years. They've been crying out for 400 years. In the Bible, the Egyptians had the slaves in there for 400 years. They was crying out. God sent Moses. It's you know, and that's not the last. That's the second chapter of the book. Exodus is the second chapter of the book, bro. I'll be reading it. I feel like you can go to church forever. You go to church every day of your life. If you don't read that Bible, bro, you're not really into God. How you gonna know? It's certain information that the church is not gonna, you know. They can't get. It's not that they don't want to. They can't get around to it. You feel me? Crazy. You know what I'm saying? The church is to help us out, but like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't do your own understanding, like in my Bible, I write down, like, you know, and you know what's so crazy? A girl asked me, like, do you do this for fake or are you really into it? I don't take no question to heart. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't be like, so what you Nah, I don't take no question to heart, bro. I told her. I told her, don't.
That's a tough question to ask somebody about God.
It's a tough question. Like you'll be like,
yeah, like what you
mean?
trying to say?
I say, just come hang out with me for a day. You'll see. Going on the last question, for someone who is a non-believer or doesn't believe that God is real, what would you tell them to give them a better idea about Him? This question, very simple question. I can't force nothing on nobody. If you're a non-believer or believer, that's on you. Just think about how your life is. If you're a non-believer, think about how your life is and your process of your life. And then look into a believer's life and see the process of their life. And it'll all be explained to you. It's really for me. I can't really say nothing, to a non-believer. I don't force nothing. So anything that's forced, it ain't right. In any aspect of life. If anything's forced, it ain't right. Relationship, basketball, school, playing on the playground, raising a kid. If it's forced, it ain't right. It got to be genuine. In order for you to get the best out of God, it got to be genuine. And that's big. That's big. I can't force nothing. I've been around non-believers, and it's crazy because I don't conversate. I can't conversate with a non-believer because if I conversate with a non-believer, what you think gonna come out my mouth? God, if He asks me a question, what you think gonna come out my mouth? God is gonna come. And I've been around some people that don't believe in God, and I couldn't associate with them because I just didn't feel like it was right. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel our conversation actually engaging at any time, because if you ask me anything about life, I'm talking about God, because God is everything to me. And everybody know, y'all see on my Instagram how I be putting my scriptures out there, how I be, I be chilling. I don't be no headaches, no business, no nothing. I be chilling because I got God. I'm at peace, bro. I'm peaceful. My life is going forward. I'm running into opportunities, and I know some of these opportunities I'm running into. I can't even tell y'all. Like, I don't even know how it be appearing. Like, it just be coming. And I know who it's from. It's from God, and that's why I pray. But if you want me to tell a non-believer, the one thing I tell a non-believer, if he asks me, what did God did for you, or my life, bro, I'm at peace, bro. Anything I do, I'm at peace, And I know I got God in me because the people around me, how they feel. That's my biggest thing. That's what I pray for. I pray for to make this person feel good. I pray for this person if you need praying. If the stuff I went through, if I can, explain that to somebody that's going through it, that makes my day. Giving back, all that type of stuff, man. That makes my day at any given time. Like, bro, if you look at my life, my daughter's perfect. My friends is perfect. My career is perfect. My life is, it's not even, my life not perfect, but, it's better than what it was when I was a non-believer. And I seen people in my church and where they at and where they grown to, and how they help their communities and how people love them. And, I want to be so into God that you can smell it on me. Like, like, oh yeah, he into God. I already know he don't play about God. That's my goals in life, to be able to just attract good people. God attracts good people. That's all I want to do. I don't want no negative around me. So to a non-believer, if your life good, that's on you. That's you. And just but if it comes with a lot of struggle, negativity, bad money, fast money, man, that ain't the life. And God is everything. I feel good. I be feeling great. I feel healthy. My daughter's healthy. I'm blessed. I'll be protected. I don't go through a lot of bad things. I go through a lot of positivity. I'm getting great opportunities that I can't even explain. Man, I feel love, and I just, love where I'm at, man. I got my boys behind me. I got my peoples behind me. I got D-Mac behind me. I got Mario behind me. I got my mom, God, my daughter, everybody behind me, bro. I cannot complain, bro. I can do anything. Feel me? My heart is pure, and it's pure enough to help everybody out, bro. And that's how I feel, And that's, if anybody non-believer, just tell them come look at my life, and y'all can take a tour with me all day. You'll see how good my life is, and it's room for improvement, but that's gonna come. I'm not rushing nothing. Whenever God want to put in my life, then we'll be good. But my heart is pure, and you feel me? A non-believer, if y'all just believe for a week, and I bet you it'll be the best week of your life. So that's what I tell to a non-believer. You know what's crazy? Another question that I got asked was that when we was in slavery, why did the white people give us, if this book is real, and this book is about God, why did the white people give this to the black people to read? That was a question I got. And I had to sit back and I had to think like, did I just get asked that question? Mind you, when we was in slavery, right, we was pretty much dumb. We didn't know how to read, write, right? Mind you, this book was way before we was on this earth. Way before. So if you're a slave and you can't read, I'm gonna throw you this book. Even though this is the answer to life, I'm gonna throw you this book because I know you can't read it. Mind you, we didn't have all the, we didn't have like the King James version and all these versions to actually like get it down to like for our understanding. We just had the one version. Okay, read that. You want to read so much, read this. So that's why they start making spiritual songs. They didn't know how to read. So if you know when God, how they used to talk back, die, you know that type of stuff, like you know that type of talk. So if I'm slow and I'm a slave with no read, I can't read no nothing. I don't even know how to read English. I'm gonna throw you a book, even though it's the answer. That's the hardest book to read. So mind you, if you read a regular Bible, it's hard to understand because we're not from that era. We're from the English era, which is what's up, hi, how you doing, sick, bye. That's our origin. So if I was to get if you couldn't read, I just gave you this book like read that. You gonna be sitting there like, oh man, why do you keep giving me this? I can't read this. And I hated that question. Like how you can't say the book ain't real because they gave it to slaves to read. They couldn't read. They knew they wasn't gonna be able to read this book. That's why they gave it to them. You want to read so bad? Okay, read this. Right? I really did not like that question at all. But I didn't take offense to it. But like you can't say the Bible not real because of that. How you know the Bible not real? You can ask me how I know the Bible real. Because the stuff I went through, it was in the book. After I went through it, I read the book and it was there. I said, bro, this is crazy. It got to be real after that. And when I started applying this book to my life, like reading over these scriptures, and I even say when I was going through that hard time, bro, I started speaking scriptures over my life. I swear that Bible was medicine. The Bible was medicine, I swear to you. I started speaking that Bible in my life. For God has not given me the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. Mind you, as a human being, we go through a million bad thoughts in our head. But when you speak out, when you speak like positivity on your life, you hear it, right? So how I'm speaking to y'all, I'm hearing myself talk. So mind you, I'm influencing myself to use what I'm saying. So like we call people influencers. We're hearing what they're saying, we're using it, right? So if you're going through a bad time, you're going through something negative, and it's a negative thought. I swear to you, every time a negative thought pops in my head, I know it's the devil. Because I know it's him. Because if you read the Bible, it tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because when Jesus was going through his translation, before he was about to die on the cross, and he was in the woods, the devil was saying, if you God's son, you do this, you do that, you make this stone turn into bread. Since you trying to persuade him not to think he was God's child. You get what I'm saying? And all he was doing was translating this word. Every time the devil say something, for God has not given me the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me. It's in my vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? It's there. And after I saw it, I feel better. But you feel me? But I didn't like that. I had to mention that. I didn't know he trained. I just thought he was a coach. I just thought he was a good coach. And I started seeing him train. I'm like, oh yeah, that's perfect. We at the gym. We at Compton. I feel like God put this in my life to get where I need to be in life.
It was a part of a
plan. Me meeting D-Mac took me further than what I was supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Like, think about it.
And that's how life works, bro.
Think about it. I was with him every day, every night in the gym, crazy hours. After school, but he didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that. So me meeting D-Mac was part of God's plan to take me forever. Because I prayed to do what I did, to go. So you feel me?
That's a big blessing right there.
He put him in my life, and then that took me, bro.
It's a blessing, bro.
Okay, come on.
So my question is, I believe in God. Of course I believe in God. But the issue that I have is with organized religion. I feel like over time it's been manipulated some of the words in the Bible have been changed over time, and maybe that the meaning that it meant before, it don't mean the same thing now. And I just think that it's a lot of hidden agendas, people doing stuff behind closed doors that we don't know about. So I really just got a problem with organized religion. And I just want to get your intake about what you think about that. And like I said, I believe in God. It's just I have a hard time believing with, what a lot of stuff that goes on today.
Well, it's crazy because a lot of people ask me that before. Like, I get that question a lot because me personally, I'm not really big on religion, like, Christianity. I feel like that was passed down to me, even though I know I'm a Christian now, but like before I even was into God, I already knew I was a Christian, and that's not how it's supposed to be. It's, God didn't make religion out to be like that. So, because our sole purpose of life is God, is to become one and become with God. So the religion aspect of it, I'm not really big. So in the church I go to, we know we Christians, but that don't be our sole purpose of life. Our sole purpose is to get people as a unit. It don't matter if you from this religion, is we need to complete our mission is to please God. Because at the end of the day, when we pass away, we're not about to get judged by no religion. We're getting judged by God. So at the end of the day, if we read the Bible, when God separated people, separated us, at the end of the day, everybody that was separated had the same purpose. It was to please God. So your ultimate goal in life is to find your purpose, of course, but over your purpose is loving God. So that religion part, I don't care if you from this religion, we can talk as long as our common goal is where it's supposed to be. Like, just because I pray one time a day, 2, 3, 4 times a day, you only pray one time a day, that ain't no different. You still pray and I still pray, and who we pray to? God. As long as you believe in the God, I believe in the God, what's the difference? As long as you think that God is everything and I think God is everything, what's the difference? Your mission is to find your purpose. My mission is to find my purpose. What's the difference? I'm not really big on religion. Of course I'm a Christian, but no, I'm not big on religion.
Okay, let me ask you this, because I've traveled a little bit. I've traveled to China, Mexico, Africa, and traveling so much has helped me see different religions and helped me see people's different type of beliefs. And, it makes me wonder, what makes people so confident in their religion? Like, there's like thousands of religions, there's a lot. So who's to say this religion is right, this religion is wrong, this religion is better than this one is worse? There's so many.
Right.
So how do you know that being a Christian is and you might have touched on it in the last question I gave you, because I did hear you talk about it a little bit, but what makes you so sure that, being a Christian and the way that you go about, believing in God is the right one?
Pretty much, I know, boy, it's not, to keep it about, it's not because I'm a Christian, it's because what I'm getting taught pretty much is what's teaching me and making me know that where I'm at, what church I'm at, is helping me grow and love God. It's not the religion part that's making me love God. It's not that because I'm a Christian, I feel like it's right. The only way it's right is if we loving God. The only way anything can be right is if we loving God, is if we praying to God, is if we making God our number one in our life. It don't matter. Even if I was a different religion, if this religion is teaching me about God, that's the right way. If it's not, it's no if, ands, or buts to that. It's no, since I'm this religion, I got to do this in order for me to love God. No, that ain't right. It's right to me when we in this Bible and we loving God and we doing whatever we need to do to make it to the next level of where we're supposed to be.
Okay, so what if you get a person? What if you get a person that they say that they Christian, but they don't abide by what the Bible said, or they don't do the type of things that they should be doing. They not praying. They not giving tithes. They not doing everything that they saying to be a Christian. Because I somewhat got an issue with that. You can't say that you something and you don't abide by all the rules and regulations by what you're supposed to say that you are. What you feel about that?
One thing about that is like only God can determine who is good. I can say you're a good person, but only God knows what true good is. So, at the end of the day, like I can say anything, but God knows what's good. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much like, at the end of the day, all this religious stuff we going through, and this is not, if it don't lead to God, it's wrong. That's the only time I know it's right. And if you really say you're a Christian and you out here and you're going to make mistakes. See, that's why, I love God, because he's a forgiving God. Because no matter what you do, you can't be perfect at being a Christian. You can't be perfect at loving God. It's easy when you get into it, but the first start of loving God is hard because it's new. He's so perfect, it's hard to mimic him. He's perfect. You can't be perfect. So that's why, sin, we gonna sin. And that's why, I repent every day. But as in like, bro, what you go through and what people tell you, if you're not reading this book, this book is everything. If you don't know this book, you don't know God, because this is this is what he wrote. So, whatever you do, what I'm saying? If you're really gonna be a Christian, you're gonna make mistakes, but be a Christian. Like, you feel me? In order for you to follow, to get God's love and his protection, you gotta follow it. So, people be saying like, oh, this is a good person, why he passed away? Only God determines what's good. You know what I'm saying? Is he speaking, That's why if God says, read his word and put it into practice, not just read his word, you gotta put it into practice, And as I start reading the Bible, I start understanding things that people be saying stuff that's not supposed to be said. Like, it's a lot of things I want to talk about that people be saying, but I know the truth to it. Yeah. And when it comes down to that time, if people don't like me for it, people don't like the truth. That's one thing I learned. When it's the truth, people don't like it. But you feel me? If you're gonna be a Christian, be a Christian. Don't be a Christian and off camera, off church, you're doing something else. Mind you, you feel me? I grew up in the hood, so I have a lot of hood ways. I have a lot of flesh ways. But I'm putting his word into practice, though. You know what I'm saying? I still make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect man. But I'm practicing what he's teaching, what he's saying in the Bible. So as long as you're doing that, you're going to make mistakes. Just because, it's crazy, and you know what I don't like? When people get in an argument with me, like they act like I'm not supposed to argue. They act like I'm not supposed to get mad. They act like I'm not a man. They act like I don't have flesh ways. The first thing they say to me, you're supposed to be a man of God. Why you act like this? Wait, so I can't be regular? So since I'm a man of God, I can't be regular? I'm not a man, I'm not flesh. It's a lot of things that, you feel me, that goes with being a Christian, goes with being a man of God, but you can't duplicate God. It's no other person like him. So I'm still gonna make mistakes, but as long as I'm putting his word into practice, because you can go to church, like I'm gonna keep saying, you can go to church as long as you want, you can praise him, this and that. If you're not following his word, then it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the word is, if you feel like the word is right, you keep going with the word. It don't matter. People can say anything to me. People try to persuade me from God. A lot of people. When I look at them, say, bro, you do you, I do me. You can't, no matter what you say, you can't change my belief in God at all. No matter what you say, you can say anything to me. I'm gonna look at you stupid. All right, for sure. Well, I'm about to go to church. I'm not, I'm about to go follow God's word. And when you get that way, and you find yourself that Christianity and and these other religions that we have, God not gonna, since you're a Catholic and you did this, you go this way, and since you're a Christian, you go this way. No, it don't go like that. You Catholic, you Christian, you Muslim, you all these other religions. Well, we still going to the kingdom as one, all gonna be together as one. I'm not big on religion. That's just not me. That's what that is. That part.
For sure.
It's not me.
For sure. I got you, bro.
Yeah, bro. Respect, bro. I can talk all day about that, man. Well, that wraps it up, y'all. I'm very thankful, very blessed to be able to have y'all part of my podcast. There's more videos to come, more stories to come, more questions to come, man. If y'all have any questions, my next one is going to be about relationships. So if y'all got any questions, comment below. Like, subscribe to my channel. Man, I'm very thankful, man, and I'm blessed, man. Keep God first, and let's keep it going. There's more to come. I'm out.
Oh, I've been counting, I've been living in blue. And this foreign got a slide, I don't know how to cruise. Why you tell me about my life, bitch, you living it too. And it bad, I got it right now, I do what it do. I was thugging all my life, and I know how to move.